Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking at a study here where there is white to move and win this. The black pawns are going down in the diagram. So, when we count the pieces, we are 2 pawns down here. But the edge for white is that this king is a bit fenced in, actually, here. There is a chance to create a mating web to win this by checkmate or by forcing black to sacrifice some heavy pieces. But it's not easy to find out how. We have some different variations to look at, and we need to look pretty far, actually, not just 1 or 2 moves ahead, but longer than that. So with that information in mind, now you can pause the video, calculate the different variations, and see if you can find out how white wins in the end. Go ahead. Okay, welcome back. So the key here is to either get the queen on this diagonal with a checkmate, or get a rook or a queen on this 7th rank with a checkmate, or creating those threats that force black to sacrifice some pieces. Okay, so we're looking at the first move here, queen to f1, which is directly threatening checkmate here on c4. The problem here is that black can move his rook to g5 and make room for the king to escape to g7 like this. And from here, we don't come any further. Actually, we are losing this as white. There's no more we can do here. So this is not the right variation to start with. So let's go back. This is a pretty interesting idea, actually. Queen h1 to get some discovered threats, perhaps, and threat checkmate here or here, something like that. And also, if black now falls into the trap and moves rook to g5, this is actually not good enough for black. He's losing, because then we can go to h6, threatening checkmate down here. And that seems that black is forced to move his rook back, and then the queen can come to c1, which is threatening checkmate here and here. And if he then goes back, well, that's not good enough. Of course, there's checkmate here. So let's start all over. This looks good. Rook g5 is losing for black, and all other moves are losing for black except bishop to h7, which is winning for black. So this is not the right move either. Let's just look at it. If we try something like this, discover threat here with a checkmate, black always have this tempo move, rook g8 check, and then he makes the way to escape to g7 after that. So after check something like this, well, he can simply just take our rook here, and he has an escape route with the king, and obviously we are losing this pretty quick as white. So I thought I found this variation first, but it was not right. So actually the first move I looked at and discarded after a while is the right one. It's rook to b3. It's an obvious threat with rook b7 checkmate. So black cannot do something like taking our queen. We will not take back. Instead we'll do a checkmate, of course. He can delay the checkmate by taking this pawn on f5, but of course with the queen under, he's going to lose pretty quick anyway, so that's not a good idea for black. The obvious move which I saw and which I thought was good enough for black was again bishop to h7. He's again threatening the rook to come to g8 with a check. We cannot allow that. And it also creates an escape route for the king to g8 and perhaps later even h8. But this is the right way to go for white. We are winning this. The next move is obvious. We need to check here, allowing black to escape to g8. Just we don't want to him to get his rook there. The question is now, and I didn't come further than this when I looked at it before, but after you set this up, maybe now you can find out how white continues here and wins. Go ahead and pause the video again if you need. Okay, here we go. We have two moves that is not losing directly. One is winning, one is only a draw. Rook e7 is a draw. We are threatening checkmate here. Black can then take the pawn. Now it's supported by the bishop, and we will get some checks here, all back and forward. If it goes here, then we can exchange and win in the end. So it's better for black to just allow this infinite checks like this. But there's another better way. After the king comes to g8, we can win this. And the move is rook to f7. And that's a brilliant rook sacrifice in this position, and it's really, really hard to see. Obviously, we are threatening checkmate here with rook to f8. And now if black takes it with the rook, well, then he loses his queen, and this is losing pretty quick for black. Now it seems maybe, yeah, he got the rook and a couple of pawns for the queen, but look at this. Goes with the rook back, and we play the queen to h5. The king cannot move, really. We are threatening checkmate. The bishop cannot move anywhere. He's basically forced to either play rook f7 or king h8. Let's look at this first. We are blocking the way, the escape route for the rook. We are then threatening some checks here. We are threatening to take this pawn, and this is really, really losing for black. He's doing what he can, but then he cannot really protect himself against us taking this pawn, and that's a clear loss in a few moves. And if he plays rook to f7 to block the queen from coming here, again we will play bishop e7. He cannot move anything. We will follow up with king e8. Then we are threatening to take here, and everything is just falling apart. He's forced to actually sacrifice his bishop to just save the game from not losing directly. But now we see, then we can just start taking all these pawns here. Easy win. Okay, let's go back a little bit. We played the rook to b3. Black played the bishop h7 with check here. We sacrificed our rook. We were looking at the rook takes. What happens if the king takes the rook? Well, then we have checkmate in one. So that's not a good idea for black either. So he cannot take the rook with either the king or the rook. So he's maybe trying this one with the king to h8, but then we win quick. He cannot put his bishop in between. It's pinned. The rook has to come here, and then we simply win the queen like this. And it will actually be checkmate in 3-4 moves from here also. So that's how you win this, with this fantastic maneuver: rook b3, rook b7, and then just put the rook on f7, sacrifice it, and we win from there. It's hard to find really from the starting position all these variations, but if you manage to do it, hats off to you. You did a good job. Thank you for watching this. Have a great day. Bye bye.